and welcome to our EWT's debate competition. First of all, I would like to thank you all for being here, and I hope you all stay alert and listen to the arguments very carefully. And because at the end of every session, you're gonna have some questions to ask. Okay, so I'm Nick Podar, and we also have Navendu Jalan here. We will be moderating the session, and we'll be a host tonight. Also, um, I'll tell you how we're gonna roll this. So we have three groups, three topics, and I'll be just checking in all the participants who are with us right now, and each speaker gonna have a 1 minute time, and then the for and the against will have at the end, for and against will have one question each to ask the other teams. After that, I really appreciate if all of us listen to the arguments carefully and try to make difficult questions for the participants. So first group that we have here is children with broken families are at disadvantage. So I would like to call in the participants. Just a second. So do we have Bhushan from ITA? Bhushan Chaudhary and Alisha Gupta. Do
Hello,
we have,
Meg. Yeah, it was informed earlier that due to certain emergency, both of them couldn't come in time for the competition. So I guess they won't be participating for today.
okay. So do we have participants from MEC A, COM B, and AHCCA?
Do we have Arya Bansode from Mechanical A? Do we have Advait Batwalkar from Mechanical A? Okay, so nobody is there. Is Mihir Gharat present from Comp B?
Yes.
Okay, all the leaders, please send post once again message in your group. Only 52 students have joined. And what is the strength of AWT?
Yes, sir. Can one of you just post a message?
Ashwin sir has joined, I think.
Okay, so participants and the audience, please wait for a while until somebody posts a message in the group. Then we would commence in a while.
Do we have Mihir Gharat and Harsh Mishra from Com B?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. And EXTCA, do we have? Navindu, can you name the participants from EXTCA?
Yeah, sure. So do we have Akshay Menden from EXTCA? Okay, we don't have. Do we have Sweni Doshi from EXTCA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So, as Meg stated, that the topic for group 1 is Are Children with Broken Families Disadvantaged? And the audience, as we can see, that most of the classes, like the participants or the debaters from most of the classes haven't turned up at this end moment. So, I would request, like, as we have nobody from MEC A and ITA as well. So, is there somebody in this audience who would like to come and participate from MEC A or ITA? Okay, if there's no one, then we should start with the competition. So MEC, go on.
So we have Sweni Doshi from EXTCA, correct?
Yeah.
So you would be going against the proposed motion, which is children with broken families are at disadvantage. And both the participants from Com B would be going for the topic.
Yeah.
And participants, while your debate is on, I would request you all to turn on your cameras so we can have you in the highlight. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
I can
So we have to say children advantage, right?
You aren't audible.
Am I audible now?
Oh, yeah.
So the team speaking for the motion.
So
has
we have
defend
to like say that students are disadvantaged.
Yes, so students with broken
children.
families are at a disadvantage. That is for the motion. Is that clear, Harsh?
Am I audible?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Harsh, you're audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And audience can post
So,
questions in
can
the
I
chat
start?
while the debate is going on, and we'll select a few questions and we'll ask them when the rounds are on. So, yes, from Com B, Harsh, would you like to go first?
Actually, I had some issue when I was joining from the laptop, so I've joined from my mobile.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not.
And I would like to interrupt in between, Meg, 1 second. This rule is for all the debaters that you just have the floor for 1 minute to give a particular speech. And when just 10 seconds would be left, that is after 50 seconds, you will be notified from either of the moderators, either me or Meg, that just 10 seconds are left. So be prepared for that. Thank you. And we can continue.
All right. So
Okay, so
it's Harsh and Mihir. I want all three of you to switch on your cameras.
Yeah, the group 1 participants, whoever is present, please switch on your camera.
I have a bit of a network issue, so if is it possible if I turn the camera off?
Okay, it's cool. No issue.
Thank you.
No problem.
Right. So Sweni, you will also be getting, you'll get to speak 2 times as you are the only one in the against. So you'll
Okay.
get to make the opening statement as well as the closing one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so-
Harsh and Mihir, which one of you would like to go first?
I would like to go first.
All right.
Okay. So I will be handling the timer. So Harsh, as soon as I say start, you will have to start with your speech. Okay.
And all the participants, like, okay, other than Sweni, Mihir and Harsh, I would like you all to keep your cameras on.
Sorry, I'm also facing
मैनेजर्स
some
आप लोग
network
उनको
issue.
आवर्स देते हो ना?
Yes, sir.
ये जो वॉलंटियर्स है उनके लिए आवर्स आप लोग देते हो ना?
Yes, sir.
ओके, तो आज जो भी एब्सेंट है, मेक श्योर दैट दे विल नॉट गेट द आवर्स.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, secondly, I would also like to say that the leaders present in this meeting, please take an attendance of the people present in this meeting from your classroom. Okay, so we would like to start with the debate. So Harsh, you've got the floor for 1 minute and your timer starts now.
Yeah. So the topic of the debate we are discussing right now, that are children from the broken family disadvantaged. So this word disadvantage, why are we using this word? Every time we face some circumstances, difficult circumstance, that doesn't mean we are disadvantaged. But right now, I am saying they are disadvantaged because for a while, let us consider that broken family means where the parents have been divorced. Let us consider that this is the only definition of a broken family for an instance. Now, in India, whatever may be the reason, 1% only marriages actually end up being divorced. That means 1% of the kids, if I speak generally, are
10
facing
seconds
that,
left. 10
that
seconds
kind
left.
of.
Go on.
That's why if 99% of children are not facing that circumstance and only 1%, we can say that they are disadvantaged.
Thank you so much, Harsh, for that amazing speech.
Yes, Sweni.
Hello. Yeah, so should I continue?
Yeah, so you have the floor
Yeah.
for a minute.
You have the floor for 1 minute and you may start.
Okay, so I would like to go against it. So when he said it is a 1% disadvantage, what you don't realize is, even if there is a hard to look at the bright side, there is something still positive of being into a broken family. You get to understand some situations, some expectations very clearly. Like when you face the outer world, you realize that not everything is rainbow and sunshine. Like some things are broken and some things have to be broken for you to look at the bright side. So when you say it is a disadvantage, I completely disagree, because some things have to be black so that you could look into white. So that's how I would like to say, yeah.
Okay, so you've got 20 seconds left. Do you have some other point to keep, or you're done for this particular speech?
Okay, no. So if I would like to continue. I would like to say that when you come from a family like that, you understand independence and responsibility, because a single parent is so busy to take care of themselves, and you understand that you have to be responsible for your own decisions and situations, and that's how you learn independence and responsibility about your own self. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so time's up. Thank you so much for that amazing speech as well.
Also,
Please follow.
everyone present in the audience, you can start posting your questions in the chat. We'll be addressing them.
Excuse me, I am left to speak.
Yes, Mir. So just before coming back
Okay,
to you,
okay.
it's just a reminder to the audience that you can start posting your questions.
Yeah, and I would like to interrupt that the audience, please pick up good questions, because any two of the best questions would be picked by the moderators, so that as we have shortage of time. So please think twice before putting in a good and tough question for the speakers or the debaters. Thank you. Go on, May.
Yes, can I start?
Yes,
Yeah,
you have
me.
the floor for a minute.
Okay,
You have the floor for
thank you.
1 minute. Start.
Okay. So yes, like I heard about the different points with respect to broken families. What I feel is that even though responsibilities are added upon the kid, but the fact is that even though the kid becomes independent, but these responsibilities are added upon the kid right from the childhood, and somewhere the person might feel a bit burdened due to it. There might be some negative impact on his mindset, on its behavior, which can be quite disappointing. And if that happens right from the childhood, forget if suppose this incidence happens in the teenage age, then the children they have the proper understanding that okay, this is something which is quite natural. But if it happens right from the childhood that like they are living with one parent, so that results into a lot of negative impact which might affect his behavior, which might affect his academic performances, and which can affect all of his crucial skill set, and you might not expect
10 seconds.
proper development from that person. So what I literally feel is that we always hear saying that okay, when the kid is bit small, he doesn't have much understanding about what social life is, so you
Oh.
should like be quite understanding towards him. So if you like
Mir, your time's up.
okay, fine, no problem.
Do you want to give a conclusion statement, or was that enough?
Just I wanted to add one point that, as you know, every coin has two sides, and like this topic, it is having advantages as well as disadvantages. But what I feel is that the amount of disadvantages here are pretty much more, because this will overall impact the social skills and simultaneously the emotional quotient of the child right from the childhood. So that is what I want to say at the end.
Okay, that was a great conclusion, Mir. Indeed. Thanks for the speech. Yeah, so
Should I continue?
Yes,
Oh,
Vedi,
yeah,
you can.
sure.
You have the floor for another minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I would like to go against Mihir and say that what you don't understand is that there are people coming from broken family and are still successful. If we take example, there is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was he came from a broken family, and he still is. We all know he was an Apple CEO and co-founder and everything. So what you don't realize is things might have a negative impact, but they grow into it, and that's how they understand the real life situations about how to face the world and everything. So like there obviously might be difficult changes when they go from a traditional family to a single parent family, but what they don't understand is that they are so prepared for it that whatever you throw at them, they know how to handle it. So that's how I would like to conclude it.
Okay,
Okay.
so you've got 10 seconds left. You want to say something more, or?
I believe I don't want to. I guess that's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the speech.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So yes,
So,
Harsh, seeing no questions from the participants, we can have two questions from each team for and against. So Harsh, do you have a question?
Yeah. I was listening to her since last two chances. What she was saying doesn't look practical in this case, because I have statistics that Canadian researchers have questioned around 6,647 men and women, out of which 700, these all are mixed, some are from broken family and some are from intact, and around 700 were under 80, and they saw their parents getting divorced. And the conclusion of that research was men from the broken family had like they were 300% more, they had suicidal thoughts than people who were not from the broken family. And giving example of a single person, Steve Jobs, of course he was a legend, but giving example of one personality, you cannot generalize it over the situation faced by everyone. Steve Jobs had some unique qualities. Definitely, he became very successful, but that doesn't apply. Is that you just overshadow the whole idea?
Harsh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we are looking for a question. Do you have a question for
Yeah.
the team
yeah.
again?
So the question is, I wanted to ask her that she literally she gave the example of Steve Jobs, which didn't look fair. So like, can she give telling them that because I
You are not audible,
actually
Harsh.
decided. Am I audible
Your
now?
voice is breaking. Can you just repeat the question that you have?
If you want, you can switch off your camera, because that might create a hindrance.
Yeah. So my question is that she gave the example of Steve Jobs, but that is okay. That was a single thing. I have statistics to prove that children from broken family are disadvantaged, because there are many research, and the conclusion is always that they have stress and anxiety, mental health, and all. So can she give any factual proof to acknowledge her acknowledge your statement that they are not disadvantaged.
Okay, so Harsh, that was not only just an example. I named him because everybody knows him. Like, if I can continue, I have too many names to prove my point. There is Justin Bieber, if you know the pop guy. Then there's Selena Gomez. There are so many other people that I can name, and it is not about the situation. Okay, see, everybody faces something equally bad. Not all of us can sit in a corner and cry about it. Some of them actually come out and fight in their own, and that's how they build into that circumstances. I believe that's how you face the world, and that's how they realize that they could take it. Like, they could take it head on. That's it.
Okay.
And see, there are too many statistics telling otherwise. But what you don't realize is there are people actually proving that they have come from a broken family and they have still did it. Statistics would say too many things, but what you don't realize is, like, we have a real life examples telling us that they have done it, and people could do it if they want to.
So do we have another question from Mihir or Harsh's end?
No. So I'm sorry
Yes.
to interrupt, Navendu, but Sweni, you again have the floor for a question that you would like to pose to the other teams.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Okay. I would like to ask him that, does he seriously believe in statistics? Because there are cases out there and there are people out there we all know, and, like, does he really believe that?
Okay, can I answer that?
Sure, you can go ahead.
See, why it is important is because we have a world of 7 billion people, right? Taking few example, or they together not even make a 1% of total world population. So we have to believe in statistics because everyone facing different circumstances. You have to ask and generalize things. If you are not believing in statistics, you cannot generalize things, right? And here we have to generalize this idea of whether children of broken family are disadvantaged. We are not talking about a particular region or particular position. We seeing it like everywhere. So we have to believe in statistics.
Okay,
I
Harsh.
would
Okay.
also
Okay.
I would also like to raise one point. Like she mentioned various examples of the people who have succeeded in life, even though they had a single parent. But I feel that it might depend upon the emotional quotient of the person. Like imagine that if the child is quite shy and quite quiet enough, so he can't or the person can't sorry, my voice is a bit breaking. So the person can't bear that type of trauma or that type of depression right from the childhood. But if the person is quite stern enough, quite brave enough, then he might find out or tackle out ways to deal with the problem right from the childhood. So I feel that personally it depends upon the behavior of the person, and I don't think so that we must consider examples, and by that basis we can say that this is really good.
Okay, Shriyansh has a question. Shriyansh, you can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. So my question is for the team of EXTC. So this question has two parts. First part is that, do you actually support an individual's independence or maturity over their mental health? And the second part is, if we are to go with statistics, so anywhere around the world, if you look at serial killers, most of the serial killers come from families which were in fact broken. So how is it advantageous for a person to come from a broken family where a lot of people, let's just not go on statistics, you can just go out and ask randomly people that having a family is some sort of support, like having someone for you at home is some kind of support. How can you just take that away and call it as someone's advantage?
I would like to answer the first part of your question. That is, would you prefer the mental health over independence. So independence is something that we get when we grow up. Like in India, you mostly get it once you reach the age of 18. In other countries, you get it otherwise. So independence, you get it. But the point is that in the childhood stage itself, if your mental health is affected, like you start feeling depressed, if there is only one parent, you start feeling loneliness, probably from one side, you don't have a support. So that will impact your mindset, and perhaps that will reflect your behavior when you actually grow up. That's what I was saying initially as well, that childhood is such a state, it is quite a sensitive period of the life where all the skills and values have to be taught properly. Why do we put children in school right from kindergarten? So that they can learn the values properly. So my point is that mental health has to be taken care at the childhood level itself, and if these things level, it will probably have a quite adverse impact. So what I feel is that yes, independence you will get. It's not like that you have to live under someone throughout the life. But the point is, it should be in a particular limit. Like in the childhood days itself, you can't get complete independence, like all the responsibilities are laid onto you. So I personally feel that this is a quite sensitive stage of the life, and proper understanding is needed from both the parents.
Well answered, Mihir, but I guess the question was directed towards the team of EXTC. Sweeney, would you like to
No,
answer
it's
that?
okay. I support him.
Okay,
He
that's
said
why
it
I did not.
properly.
That's
Can I ask a last question to the opposition?
no, I guess if Mihir has a question, he can move forward with it.
No, I don't have any question. I guess Harsh had asked the portion of the questions
Okay.
pertaining to a topic.
Okay, Harsh, then I guess I can allow you one question, but be
Yeah,
precise and be
yeah,
stick
yeah.
to the.
So what I'm going to say, maybe she can disagree with it very easily. See, in a house, when you have both your parents, your mother and your father, the role is certainly distributed. Probably I'm generalizing things like your father has a role to make you more solid, to make you more strong, and your mother has your role to make you a better person or have a softer skills. But when and this creates a balance, but when parent is missing in the situation, definitely there is a disbalance. So it's very difficult for the other person who is left to make that balance again. So that is what my actually the question is, that how like if I generalize things, how is it possible for majority of a single parent to fulfill the role of both parents?
Is that your question? See, basically, everything depends on every individual person. Okay, like what I can handle it, you might not handle it, or what you might handle it, I cannot handle it. So everything depends person to person. So I don't think that's a logical question. Like parent is going to handle everything the person, like he or she can, and obviously he or she would give everything to the child, obviously, I don't think it is a logical question. Like it depends to person to person, like whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so we come to an end. We come to an end of group one and the first topic that we had for debate. I mean, well arguments, like there are really nice arguments made and some well framed questions.
Yeah.
And for the next round, I would like to call on the group two members for the topic of online learning versus offline learning. But before that, there is one thing that this is a learning platform. Okay, so we all are here to learn more about the debating skills. So there's just one thing that we also have Ashwin sir in the meeting. Ashwin sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, dear. Yes, yes.
Okay, so everyone just acknowledge the presence of Ashwin sir and Nivan sir. These are our POs, program officers, and also judges for the evening. And yes, so coming to debates, you can make your points and just try not to attack any participant personally. Okay, so I would like to move on to group 2, which has the topic of online learning versus offline learning. Navendu, would you like to call upon the participants?
Yeah, sure. So in group 2, we have the classes. So firstly, I would like to call, I just want to know the presence. Do we have Rohit Pandey from ITB?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay, so please switch on your camera. Do we have Raghavendra Pandey from ITB?
Yes. I'm here.
Okay, so you also switch on your camera. Then do we have
Civil B.
one second? Yeah. Do we have Sumit Singh from Civil B?
Yeah.
Sure. And nextly, do we have Rashmi Rawat from Civil B?
Yes.
Okay, so please you also turn on your camera.
Compare.
Yeah, Compay. Yeah. Yeah. Do we have Rohan Dalvi from Compay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do we have Harshit Daga from Compay?
Yes, I'm here.
Sure. So you may also turn on your camera. And lastly, we have Mechanical B. So do we have Gaurav Rai from Mechanical B? Okay, we don't have him. Do we have Nandita Vishwakarma from Mechanical B? Okay, so basically no one has turned up from Mechanical B. So anybody from the audience who belongs to the class Mechanical B wishes to participate in the debate? Okay, so I see no one. Yeah, so Meg, you may go on.
All right. So we don't have anyone from.
अपने नाम्स दिए थे ना मैनेजर्स में?
Yes, sir.
दिस नवेंदु, इन लोगों ने अपने नाम्स दिए थे ना?
Yes, sir.
तो फिर ये आए क्यों नहीं?
So we really have no idea about it.
We'll have to ask about that, sir. But we tried to make sure that all participants are here. But
Yes.
now we have participants from 3 classes. That is ITB, Civil B, and Computer Science A.
Yeah.
And ITB and Civil B are for the topic. That is, they would be supporting the online learning platform. And we have the participants from Comp A that will be going against. So I would like to call upon the participants from ITB. Rohit and Raghavendra. Which one of you would like to make the opening statement?
So online learning.
Yes, Rohit.
Yeah, so
Can I start?
yeah, so you have the floor for 1 minute, Rohit, and you may start.
So what I like in online learning is that a person do not have to travel from one place to another place, and it also saves time. Also in online learning, a person get too much time for their activities rather than offline learning, and he or she can do more work and efficiently. But in online learning, a person can switch from a lecture to lecture. Like if there is a session, he can attend too many sessions where he don't have to think that much of switching from one class to another, and making too much about online learning is that online learning also boosts a person. Like if he didn't understand, he or she can
10
study
seconds
on
left.
YouTube, and YouTube, or he or she can use any other platform like Coursera or other platform to understand better. So that's my point of view for online learning.
Okay, time's up.
Rohan, and Harshit. Any one of you?
Ashit, may I go first?
Yeah, you go.
Sure. So Rohan, you've got the floor for 1 minute. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, you may start with this
So,
speech.
according to a latest study done in June, 75% of people who are students and who are asked the question if the online classes have done something. So 75% of them have reported increase in anxiety levels and increase in stress levels. This might be because of that online classes were new to all of us in the beginning of pandemic. But this cannot be understated that if 70% of people are facing anxiety issue, what are the causes behind it? And some of the causes are like you require a lot of self-dedication and self-correctness to sit in an online class, to sit through an online class all through it till the end. And for the people who are motivated, they can't be motivated for a
10
long
seconds
enough
left.
time to grab important information. So that was my point.
Thank you.
Raghavendra from ITB.
Yes, so I'm speaking in favor of online classes. So,
on your camera.
Online classes, are very flexible when it comes to time. Students can access their classes and courses anytime, anywhere, as long as they have a stable internet connection. But one of the main benefits is that educational materials are available at all times. There are plethora of online programs and courses for students to access, and some of the courses are from renowned colleges, from very reputed colleges which are available at lower costs. And an obvious benefit of taking online classes is that time is saved, and also the money from traveling costs are saved, instead of being physically to be present in a classroom. Currently, online education has
10 seconds left.
the same benefits as traditional learning. We can also access our professors and our teachers through email, chats, and also online forums. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech.
Should I start? Okay. So people spoke about resources, availability of resources. Well, availability, like after attending the offline classes, you can also access those courses. And again, like offline learning has more collaboration, less distractions. Like online, there are online classes have so many distractions. Yes, you can go to YouTube and watch MIT videos, but the YouTube algorithm will make sure you don't do it. Yeah, you don't have to travel, and so your health also suffers a lot. And also, like there is a problem of network, especially in India, connectivity problem. Not everyone has internet, so online classes become a burden, and like it does not give everyone equal opportunity to learn, which is against the right to education. Also, like you
10
cannot
seconds left.
friends, it affects your mental health. Offline classes give you some sense of whatever that is being taught, and you can interact with teachers more freely, and you can know people, which I think is more important than just learning about technologies and implementing them.
Harshit, your time's up. So would you like to give a concluding statement, or is that okay?
Yeah, so like I'm fine.
Okay, thank you for the speech.
Sumit from Civil B. Sumit or Rashmi?
Yeah, I'll start. So I'm in favor of the online lecture. So already there have been points mentioned like it's cheap in comparison to online learning can be cheap because and as well as it has more many options as well. Obviously, it is time saving as sometimes students have to travel far for taking their colleges, schools, and all. Also, talking about the point just mentioned that in offline lectures too, students can get distracted and use their cell phones and do a lot many things like that also happens. So that's something also happens during the offline lectures as well. And moreover to it, students, and it's like anyone can opt for a different type of courses, um, like learn different languages or different
10
subjects
seconds
from
left.
yeah.
10 seconds left. You may continue.
So that's what I'm saying, that online learning is way better, and disturbance can also be like a student can also get disturbed during the offline lectures.
Okay, so
Okay.
Rohan and Harshit, you any of you can have another minute.
Meg, I would like to interrupt 1 second. We have also got another speaker from Mechanical B, and it is Ayush Agarwal. Please unmute yourself. Yeah, Meg, we have got another speaker left from Mechanical B.
So we just have one more speaker for Mechanical B, right?
Yeah, there is a speaker from Mechanical B.
Okay, so as I had already given the floor to Rohan, I guess Rohan can make a statement for a minute, and in the next consecutive round, Ayush can have the final closing statement for the against.
Sure, sure.
Okay, Rohan, you can continue.
I would like to firstly answer his question that focus can be lost during offline classes also. But the truth is that the course correction in that case is a lot quicker and can affect more people very quickly in case of a teacher teaching a student. Apart from that, my another point is in workplace environments where we have to interact with people and social skills are required. The online classes restrict the build-up of these kind of social skills. Okay, you can study 100 things if you have dedication, but you may not have the knowledge how to interact with people using those tools in real life. So that is part where experience from the mentor, experience from your co-workers comes into limelight, and you have to have that in case you have to have an very good educational base. So that is
10
my
seconds
point.
left.
And I would like to ask, how has, I mean, online classes, we have seen so much of, what do you call it, improper behavior. So how can we avoid that?
Point made. Rashmi from Civil B can have your
Yes.
final statement for the
Yes.
motion.
As for the against, he said that almost 75% of people get stressed and they have pressure because of online classes. Yes, we get. I will agree that yes, we get stressed because of it. But we can, talk out with teachers for reducing the time of the online lectures. Like if the lecture is being conducted for 4 to 8 hours, you can just talk to the teacher that the time limit you have kept for these long lectures are not convenient for us. They are making us feel they are making us uncomfortable. And then about the misbehavior he talked about. Okay, so misbehavior in offline classes also, there are so many mischievous students, right? So that happens in both classes, like in online also and offline also. Students are the same. So if if someone is not behaving properly in online, that happens the same in offline also, because not every student
10 seconds left.
is not every student is like so much obedient in class. So many so many students make trouble, right, in offline classes too. And then the advantage of online classes is time flexibility, because the online classes have huge time flexibility that helps us to impact both the teachers and students. They can choose a
Oh,
convenient time based on their
so,
criteria. They can also,
Rashmi, your time's up. Would you like to give a concluding statement?
yes, I would like to tell that since we are the students that we got this topic, so we are the you can say the most uh, we can actually give a most honest response to this, because we are actually going through this online classes. So um, the online classes, like you can say that if a person is not motivated for its goal, so he would, even if he wants to
Okay,
pay attention to classes, he wouldn't, because he just doesn't want to. So it doesn't matter if it is online or offline. If a person wants to do something, he can do it. So
Okay. Okay, Rashmi, thank you so much.
All right. We have Gaurav from McB. Who's the speaker from McB?
Ayush Agarwal.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
No
Ayush,
issue.
you have the floor for a minute to conclude.
Am I audible? Hello.
Not
Yes,
very
yes.
well.
मेघ एक ग्रुप में कितने बच्चे
So we had maximum of 8 participants in a group, and group 2 has only 6. So Ayush should be the last.
Okay.
Am I audible? Hello.
Ayush, we still have a bit of issue.
No, Ayush, you aren't audible.
Am I audible now?
You seem to have too much of network issues. Actually, you aren't audible. Your voice is breaking too much.
Okay, we'll wait for a minute to see if Ayush can come back with his audio. Meanwhile,
Ayush is saying, Ayush says that he will type in the chat box.
what? How can he make a whole statement in the chat box?
Yeah, that's what.
No, not possible. This is debate competition. He has to speak.
Okay, so Ayush, as the
Just a minute, sir. And meanwhile, like we have 8 participants in this group, so we won't be able to take a question and answer from each. So I would like all the participants to like post their questions, and we can select 2 questions for and 2 questions against. So it's like 1 question from Com and 1 question from Mech, and we can have 1 question from IT and 1 question from Civil. Ayush,
Hello.
can you speak now?
Hello.
If we have too much, you're not audible. So I guess we'll have to give the concluding round to Harshit from Form B.
So the previous speaker spoke about how the stress levels are she agrees that stress levels are high, and she proposed a solution. My argument is like that is my argument is if like when you have, let's say, 10 hours of 5 hours of classes in offline mode and 2 hours of classes online mode, what does that the content being taught is obviously less, so you are learning less in online classes, and you are learning more in offline classes. So that was my only argument against it. Like I don't think that point was valid. Stress is true, and also you learn less in online classes, and yeah, like that is my point. So do I need to
okay,
conclude
so
everything else?
do you want to give?
Okay.
No, if you want to conclude, you may, because you've got 10 seconds left.
Okay, so I would conclude that online classes are like worse than offline learning. Yeah, you get the advantages of having more resources and stuff, but you can also have that when you are learning offline. And offline learning has the added advantages of networking, building up your profile, as well as having some social talent as well, like talking to people and communication skills, networking, which obviously you cannot have. You not have that in online classes or online learning.
Okay, so moving on to the question answer round. ITB, you have one question. Rohit, Raghavendra.
Rohit and Raghavendra, you may ask any question to the opposition. So you may go on if you have a question.
And yes, please, please try not to make a point out of it. Just stick to the question.
We see no questions from here.
All right.
No question, sir.
Okay. So civil B, Sumit and Rashmi, any of you have a question for the opposite team?
Okay.
Do we have you here, Sumit and Rashmi? Are you in the meeting?
No question.
Yes, we have no questions.
Okay. Okay.
So, Comp A, Rohan, Harshit, do you have any questions?
I had a question for the opposite team.
Yes, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
As they were saying that the online education provides advantages in terms of traveling and distance, but another thing about it is it removes the advantages when you have a dedicated teacher teaching you with the equipment that is required at the same time. How on the earth is someone supposed to learn things when they don't have the equipment on hand? And how are they going to get the exact same skills with the person who is having that same equipment, expensive equipment with them? So how can that be managed by online class?
So do we have an answer to this from the opposition?
ITB or Civil B? Anyone of the four of you can answer this. If you did not get the question, Rohan, can you repeat the question in a nutshell?
Okay,
Yes,
so
please, can you repeat the
when
question?
there is expensive equipment that is to be used, how is a person supposed to simulate that same thing at home without that equipment and learn the same required skills for the job?
Yes, Rashmi, would you like to answer that, counter that? Rashmi, Sumit, Rohit, Raghavendra, any one of you?
Well, such things can be explained through videos and all stuff. Yeah, we can't bring the whole setup like the tool what you are talking about, but obviously explaining those things can be done on online lectures as well. I understand the point of here is that about the practical stuff, how to use such tools, but explaining the tool can be done at least to the minimum point if we say through online means.
So it will not reach the full potential.
Yes, the least
adding
we
to
could
Sumit's
do
point.
is explain the stuff, the procedure, what we are talking about, the experiment, and we could also do that thing. One thing like if you are doing these experiments, the teacher could, the staff could explain us the procedures, procedures of the experiment, and then at once we could visit visit the college or something if you want, like at once, and you could just ask the teacher to physically explain you how to use those equipment, so you could do
Like
at least
that's
that
the
much.
point in my favor, right?
Sorry,
You're
no
asking them to come to college and
no follow-up questions.
Yeah, but that's the least you could do. I mean, if you want to physically handle those stuff, so because in online lectures we can explain everything you want to know, but not about handling the equipments.
So I am adding some points. That's the major disadvantage of online lecture. So we can have a vast knowledge of a theoretical, but can't have a practical. So that's the major issue. And one thing can be do that the teacher can record a video and the teacher can upload on YouTube. So a student can access from online. that could be done. But practically, it is impossible that a person will buy or the student will buy and he will perform on the home. So it's a major disadvantage.
All right. So anyone from the four team, Rohit, Raghavendra, Sumit, and Roshni, do you have any questions for Rohan, Harshit, or Ayush? I see no questions here. So I guess that was all for group two.
Yeah.
And
So do we have any question for group two from the audience end? If there's some question, please put it in the chat box. We'll pick any two of those, and those the questions would be asked to the debaters.
we also welcome questions from Nivan sir and Ashwin sir in form of comments.
Sure, sure.
Actually, there are many things being said in the against the online, and Rohan, I do support you in some or the other extent. It's not like I'm making you winner, but yes, in some or the other way, yes, few things are pros and cons as well for the online as well as the offline. So as few people have given their points related to like they can't do the practical, which is something which is online, they can't do it. So that's very much true. But at the same time, few people said about the saving of their time at the time of a traveling. Yes, definitely they are saving their time. At the same time, other than activity, other than academic activity, they are also able to do other things which is related to their housework at the time when they are even learning. So means taking a time bit from the academic and they are doing even their household works. So that is also bit advantage which is not available in the case when you are coming to offline. So when you are coming to offline means you are totally dedicated to your academics. But when you are at least you're online, you can help your siblings or your mother's father for their household work. So that is also one of the positive things. But yes, many things are there which is going against the online. So even I consider that online is a bit not much better as compared to offline.
Yeah, so okay, we have another question from Shivam Kadam, and the question states that offline is better for learning and online is better for time management. So how do we find the best from both of these? So any of the debaters from this group two can answer this.
I mean, there is always a balance between these two factors. About the online being better. So it's all not only that, it is depending on the fields that you are studying. In some kind of fields, such as medical, it is very, very important that you must attend the offline lecture. But in some other fields, such as languages, same thing can be done online. And in case of assignments, providing assignments, the online method is proving to be more useful. So the balance will be figured out by the market and the users as things go along. And we must experiment with both in order to reach a conclusion and not exclude one or the other.
Okay, that was a good answer. I hope the person who asked the question got his answer.
I really liked the group two debate which we had here, and I would really like to suggest to all the debaters to use questions more often, because when we give you a chance to ask the opposing team a question, there's a lot of different ways that you can use framing a question, and to ask or question um, someone's argument. So the basic suggestion that I would like to give all of you is use questions more wisely and use them more often. Like whenever we are giving you an opportunity to ask a question to the opposing team, you should make the best of it. And thank you all for the round two. We would be moving on to round three, which is
The group 3.
The group 3, which is drug addicts and do they need help or punishment. So for this, I would like to call upon participants from ELEX, Comp C, EXTC B, and Civil A, if they are.
Yeah.
Navindu, can you call out the specifics?
Yeah,
Meg,
sure,
can
sure.
you just repeat the topic?
So the third topic is drug addicts and do they need help or punishment?
Okay, okay, thank you.
So from electronics, do we have Shriyan? Yeah, Shriyan Singh is there. He's turned on his camera. Do we have Nirul Sharma?
Yes, but I have some network issues, so is it okay if I keep my video off?
Cool. Then from Comp C, do we have Manoneet Sikwal from Comp C?
Yes, I'm there.
Sure. So if possible for you, you may turn on your camera. Do we have Safa Umatia from Comp C?
No, sure. I think not. She won't be.
Yeah, she's not.
No,
She's
Narendra.
not.
She won't be able to join.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Then do we have Avyay Rao? Yeah, he's turned on his camera. Do we have Sanju Sharma from EXTCB?
Navindu, in replacement of Sanju Sharma, we have Ami Patel from EXTCB.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
Ami
please
Patel.
note the changes. We have got Ami Patel from EXTCB. Then from Civil A, do we have? Actually, we don't have a participant from Civil A. Like if there is somebody in the audience present from Civil A who wants to participate.
Yes, I'm there, Shivam. But there are issues like maintenance happening. That's why I'm not able to open video.
Yeah, that's okay. You may switch. You may turn off your camera. So Shivam Kadam from Civil A. Do we have another participant from Civil A? As we have got one place vacant.
I think no one is there. I'm only there.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, Shivam.
Yeah.
So Meg, you may go on.
All right, so we have ELEX and Comp C for the topic, and that would be drug addicts need help, while the against would be that drug addicts need to be punished. So for the motion, we have ELEX and the Comp C participants, and against we have EXTC B and Civil A. So from electronics, Shriyansh, Nirul, any one of you can start with the.
So I'll be starting. First of all, good evening, everyone. My name is Shreyans and I'm representing electronics. So let me just start off by saying that drug addiction is a very difficult crisis. Although it involves an individual's mental as well as a physical state, it also is kind of a criminal habit. But you cannot just punish them for being an addict, can you? Just because they are an addict, they cannot be enclosed behind some walls and be punished for some sort of addiction. What's actually needed is that they need help. They need help from the people, their family, and the society as a whole. Right off the bat, if you just lock someone up for being an addict, that won't help. For as far as our knowledge goes, we all know that prisons or any other place, as a matter of fact, aren't drug free. The only places on
10
our
seconds
planet that are
left.
drug free, okay, sorry, are rehabilitation centers. And rehabilitation is what addicts need. They need our help, and they need to be shown that they are still a part of our society. That's how we can help drug addicts to overcome their addiction, or any other sort of addicts in any case in general. I'd like to conclude with
Okay.
that.
Thank you, Shriyant, for that great speech.
I'd like to call upon Avyay from EXTCB.
Okay. So hello, my name is Avyar and I'm speaking against the motion, that is why drug addicts need to be punished. First of all, addiction is a chronic and very progressive brain disease that is repeatedly taking drugs or alcohol, say, which changes the structure of your brain, which causes you to lose control over the related behaviors. And in order to seek treatment. Of course, drug addicts are need to have treatment, but in some cases, even after a proper treatment, the addicts, they go back to using drugs. Like for example, we have a lot of artists who went back to taking drugs again. We know Freddie Mercury, the main lead of the Queen band,
10
and
seconds left.
okay, the addicts, they also they need, after the treatment, like I said, some people give them community as, but also that is very harmful for the society or the people who do not take drugs. So in my opinion, I guess they should be punished. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech, Abhay.
Colored trims for the interior materials, and you now get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Other than that, the infotainment system is exactly the same as before. It's all right. It's not as nice to use as the infotainment system.
Can I go ahead? Am I audible?
Start.
Yes, you are audible. You have the floor for a while.
So I would like to start my speech by stating a quote by Albert Einstein, that if people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are sorry lot indeed. So just because we are giving punishment to somebody and he fears that, so people in the society fears that and they don't do it, that is wrong. They should understand that it is wrong. They should know the advantages and disadvantages, and then they should step forward. So only because only giving them punishment won't lead to a good society. Also, rehabilitations will help them to understand. It's a complete process of making them understand that this is wrong and how they can come out and what are the long-term effects. So they'll understand that this is wrong and they shouldn't do it. So they'll need help instead of a punishment. And what is the possibility that after completing their punishment, they won't repeat it, because they haven't still realized that it is wrong. And also the elements in their body
10
still
seconds left.
want. So the organs and their body still want it. So they don't know that it is wrong. After completing a punishment, they can repeat it. So there's a less possibility of them not doing it. So I think they need a help instead of punishment.
Thank you. Ami Patel. Ami Patel, EXTCB.
Is Zami Patel there in the meeting?
She isn't there in the meeting, Navindu. You can skip her for now.
Okay.
Shivam from Civil A.
Oh, yes. Sorry for back sound. Really, I want to talk against the topic. So basically, to understand them. But basically, like, punishment is important. When we are going to addict to something, so that time there is a fear. Like, we have some fear about that thing. That's why we are going to stop them. Like, if you tell some people that you have to stop this drug, there is one amount, like there is one time, or there is one limit till that if that is punishment we have to face. So it's like that. Like, if you think about the Maharashtra, there are very bullying in the 1917, 18 is happening. After that, there are punishment starting, like what do. So that all things people are waiting about punishment, that if you do a murder, that we have to get in that much of punishment. So
10 seconds
like
left.
that, if we do the punishment, then it's better. Okay, so final statement is, if we by understand from the, but by punishment they get some fear about that, and there is very small amount of time we take to come out from them as helping understanding. So punishment is better. Okay.
Thank you for the speech.
Thank you.
Mandi.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. So you've got the floor for 1 minute, and you may start.
So am I speaking against the topic or for the topic?
You're speaking for the topic.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
is, drug addicts need help.
Okay. So according to me, first of all, we should know why the drug addicts are actually consuming drugs. We should start from the beginning. So we should know why they are consuming drugs. According to me, like there's a on in this generation there's a lot of stress that we will be successful or not. There's family stress and there's a lot of things going on and the world is very fast and so people once in a while think that oh I should like uh, I'm not feeling right mentally so they try to escape this by consuming drugs. So according to me is drug consuming is a crime or a crime? No, it's not. It's an illness. It's an illness uh, which came from the
10 seconds
society.
left.
So for this we need cure, not punishment. That's all I want to say.
Thank you for the speech, Manonit.
Do we still not have Ami in the meeting? Do we have Ami Patel in the meeting, EXTCB?
No, Meg, we don't. Not yet.
Okay, so I'll have to give the floor to Avay.
Yes,
Avay,
I'm
you
here.
have the floor for a minute.
Okay, so I'll be continuing my speech on why they should be punished. In my opinion, rehabilitation is a good method, but it's rather a softer way to make them, like in rehabilitation we have they meditate and do yoga. They even play sports, which in my opinion is rather softer method. While if we punish them by putting them behind the bars, like I'm not saying like they should be framed as a criminal and be put behind the bars, but rather there should be another or a more harder way. Like they should be not, like meditation is a good way to release stress. So they should be allowed to meditate, but not play sports, have good fruits and all food stuff to drink and all, which in a rehabilitation center is provided to them.
10 seconds
So
left.
it's a very nice environment there. Whereas if we put them behind bars, it's not. It will make them more tough, and the next time, even if they try to do drugs, it will remind them that oh my God, it is a very difficult. It was a very difficult time for me. So I'd rather not do it again. So that will be all. Thank you.
Thank you for the speech.
So moving on to the question answer round. Do we have a question from Alex? Shreyansh or Nerul, do you have?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes,
So my question is, if a person who is a drug addict himself called that I'm suffering from a disease, so should we put somebody behind the bars because he is suffering from a disease or something?
Avay, Shivam?
Yes, I want to against him. Like, see, if like the point is like if people are like if the people are getting depressed, that why they're going to have take the drug. So basically, my point is like there are many people. The business of drugs is very big, and people are doing it for some people are like many people are doing it for business. So if they are not depressed and they are doing it for a business, or they are like they want to do it, that's why they do it. So how can we are going to like people, how can we are going to help that people they are doing by their like their choice, they are doing by their choice, and if are doing their choice, they already they regularly time always time to attract the people, like the people always. So it's like if how can we target that people by helping or understanding they have to do business, so they're always trying to attract them. There are many people, so it's not possible to understand that people that they are doing drugs for business. Yeah, so it's point like that. Okay, so
Oh,
fine.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So Avay and Shivam, do you have a question for the opposing team?
Yeah. So basically, Okay, so basically my question is about people are saying that helping that people by understanding them as away from say, like that we have to doing something hard in rehabilitation room. That's why they understand that no, we don't have to do that. If we reminding that if we do again that we have to face that much things in rehabilitation. So basically it is some type of punishment now that we are going to that we do going to that we give to that drug addiction in rehabilitation room. So basically punishment is required. Punishment is required, and punishment is give or fear is important to reduce anything in very less time.
Shivam, do you have a question?
Yeah.
What's your question for the opposite team? I did not get your question.
Okay, it's my conclusion. Just if anyone want to, I just come with some time about in questions. In my it's my basically it's my conclusion. I just come with my question in some seconds.
That's not
If
a problem.
anyone want to produce.
Yeah. So, Avid, do you have a question for the opposing team?
My question would be, what are the chances that after rehabilitation, he or she does not get back to using drugs again? Because it's like he knows that if I become an addict again, then I'll be put to rehabilitation and I'll be out again in a few time. So that's my question.
Can I answer the
Can
question?
I answer from okay. Should I answer
Okay.
or?
Oh, I'll answer.
All right.
Okay, so you're saying that rehabilitation is. You just said in the previous speech that rehabilitation is just yoga. It's not just yoga.
I did
There's
not say
psychiatrists.
yoga. I just told that it's a softer way to
Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm saying.
make him. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
You said that it's yoga, and you said that people are gonna you are controlling people by scaring them. It's not the solution. Okay, people when the person is going to jail, okay, he thinks that he won't get caught. Okay, so 90% of the time people who are consuming drugs aren't getting caught. So once they are going to jail, and what if they come back and they consume the drug again, thinking that they won't get caught? Yeah. So but rehabilitation works. There's not only you can only like punish people 2 to 3 ways, like fine them or put them in cells. But what rehabilitation does is there's not only yoga. First of all, there's a lot of things. Psychiatrists, there are people who are in similar situations exactly as you, which you share your thoughts and emotions, and then you also like get to know. Yes.
Just finish your sentence.
Okay, so I would just say I would like to conclude my statement by asking the question to him: that would controlling people, why scaring them and putting them in cells
I'll come back to
will
you.
work?
Can I add a few points?
Yes, you can add on to the answer.
Yeah, so I'd just like to add this thing that the bottom line is that there's no sure shot or 100% way out of this thing. Like even punishing or rehab may or may not solve the problem of drug addiction. What we can do is just help the person out instead of instilling fear in them by physical or verbal means. That will only accelerate their means of procuring drugs or just accelerate them to a more worse situation than they were before they started getting into this. I just conclude with this point. That's it.
Okay, so can I come with questions like?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay, so basically I have two questions for the helping team, the supporting team. So basically first, as we told that people are getting depressed or there are problem issues, that's why they are taking drugs. So basically like there are many people are like many teenagers are there. If we can like 2021, like there are, if like in Maharashtra in 1 or 17 like people are doing their 10. So how we're talking about India. So there are many teenagers that coming, and if we are consider a one time, so that if you consider a one like 18 years complete, so there are many are ready to come in that section. So how can you control that that upcoming in that section? And second thing that see like there are many people are doing that for business. So if someone is doing the second question, there are many people are doing their business. If the like if someone is like addiction or there is a this it's not a choice just do for addiction, so we can come out them from their addiction. But what do people they are doing their business, how can we control them? They can
Shivam,
also
Shivam, ask
attack the people.
one line question, please.
Okay, one line question is like, how can we control the people who are doing for the business? They are not going to stop.
Okay. How do you control the peddlers and the whole network? That's your question. Nirul,
Do we have an answer from the opposition to this?
I guess he's completely talking about a different scenario because consumption of drugs is a whole different platform than the provision of drugs. People who are making and providing drugs are way different than those ones consuming it. And the people whom we call addicted are on a whole another level. So you can't punish someone just because they are addicted. Being addicted to any kind of substance is, well, you can't just jot down some points and make it a standard key, this person might be coming from a broken family, or he's been through a breakup or something, that's why he's addicted. No, that's not how it works. There are 7 billion people on this planet. You cannot standardize why someone might have been addicted to something or the other. What we can do instead is to hear that person, to help them out anyway up till a point. Obviously after that, what an individual actually needs is reassurance from the society, from the people, and from the family. That's it. That's the only way you can help an addicted person out of their addiction.
Okay, Shreyansh.
Although okay, sorry, am I done or
Manneet, I'll just one question from you. Manneet, you had a question. Yes, you can move forward with your question. Just keep it short and simple.
Yeah, I wanted him to ask the question that what is the guarantee if that the person comes out of prison and he won't be consuming the drug? It's the same question, exactly opposite to what they asked. That was my answer to the question, but I'm just answering via question.
So that's your question?
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Where would you like to answer that?
Okay, first of all, like I said, a person who uses drug is like very weak-minded. Like if he is a drug addict, which means he has used excessive drugs and is very weak-minded. So maybe a psychiatrist or rehabilitation won't work on him. So in my opinion, I think fear surely would work on him, because if next time ever he'll think of trying drugs again, then he'll always remember the time he did in prison. And again, I'm saying that drug addicts should not be put in the same prison as the criminals do, because they are doing a non-violent crime. So in my opinion, rehabilitation should be tougher than it is.
All right. So that's all participants. Sir, would you like to, any of you, Nivans or Ashwin sir, would you like to make any comments on the group 3 debate that we just had? Any comments? And as this was the last round, any comments or any suggestions to the participants?
Okay, so was it the last part? I mean, it was the last group?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I congratulate you all and appreciate your efforts also. Okay, especially Meg and all the managers. Okay, we have taken this toil basically to work on it and to make this today's session, or basically the program successful. I also appreciate all the students, okay, who participated. They prepared well, and all of them have spoken well. It is very difficult to judge the winners, because all of you are winners basically from my point of view. But for the sake of convenience, we will find out some of them. But you are all the winners. You have spoken very well, and okay. But I'm very much concerned with the students who are absent, because we have more than, I think, 153 something students, but only 68 students have made it to join today. So this should not happen. And such kind of platform, especially EWT has provided you to improve your all skills basically. It is not just to get the hours, right? You people should attend such kind of programs, because it is giving you an opportunity to improve your interpersonal skills, right? And which are necessary everywhere for you as a professional, as a student, and in a personal life as well. So whenever such kind of opportunity is there, make sure that all of you are participating here. Nothing is winner loser. There is nothing like that here. Okay, nobody is going to make your laughing stop here basically. So make sure that such kind of what about other students? Only few students have joined, and rest of the students were just inactive, just passive listeners. Okay, and when it was asked by Meg and even Navendu to okay, ask questions, there was no question even by the participants in the chat box also. So why does this kind of okay, empathy is there from all students? So I hope this should not happen. You will improve. You will work on it. Okay, so I'm not okay here to give you a lecture basically, but some of the things that as a student, as a EWT, we need to be okay very careful about. So overall, the program was quite good. From I am of the view is that the program is quite good. All of you have spoken well. Once again, the organizers, okay, managers, leaders, okay, who took initiative to complete this program. Okay, I appreciate and congratulate you all. Okay, this is all from my side. Ashwin sir.
Congratulations, everyone. That's great. I have enjoyed the complete session. I have really enjoyed the complete session, and
yes, definitely.
It has in many cases it has opened my eyes as well. So few topics were so it was so much debatable. Like the full day we can debate it on that particular topic. It was really concise one, and it was really within a time frame things were done. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the participants and all the managers, leaders. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, sir. And wonderful participation by all of you. And I would also like to thank our program officers, because Nivan sir and Ashwin sir are the ones to come up with such topics which are such a food for brain. Like we could have so much of endless arguments back and forth on these topics. So yes, I really love the topics myself. And congratulations everyone, and thank you all for giving this time late Sunday evening to all of us. And I would like all of you to turn on your cameras so we could take a memory, a snapshot out of it. Roshni, Navendu, any one of you can take a screenshot.
I'm on my phone, so I wouldn't be able to take it.
Just a second more. Everybody smile. Okay. Thanks a lot. And yes, please be more participative in such competitions, because this will actually, debating skills are basically putting your point across the table while being respectful to the other person. And I guess this is something that you'll need a lot ahead in your life, even in group discussions in the corporate. And as sir said, it's like it's part of your life, getting your point across the table. So a lot of wonderful participation, and I really love the points made by you guys, and I really appreciate your efforts. And thank you very much. Prerak, you can end the meeting.
Okay.